Hi guys, it's Jody. Today's video, we are going to do the floating bloom with the white pillow background so we can compare it to the one we did in the last video, and I'll link it in this video that we did with the black pillow. And then at the end, we're going to compare the two to kind of see how the same color palette is affected by, you know, a lighter background versus a darker background. So let's go get started. Right, we are going to go over the colors, the cell activator, the pillow, and you're going to recognize this color palette. It's the same from the last video where we did the black pillow. I'll kind of go into more what we're doing this time, but we're going to use the same color palette, but we're going to use a different pillow because I want to compare the two and kind of show you what happens when you use a, you know, my regular pillow and then, you know, a different color pillow. So the first color I've got is Golden Fluids Nickel Azel Gold. And it's pretty warm in my studio now. It's super hot in the Chicago area. So this is my Valspar Varathane pouring medium mix. And as you can see, I mean, when it's hot, my paints can get pretty thin, especially using a fluid. My next color is PBO Studio Acrylics, the iridescent blue green. And this is a tube, so it's a little bit thicker, but it's running pretty well off the stick there. This also is my Valspar Varathane pouring medium mix. And then my next color is the purple, where we have the two, the PBO Studio Acrylics, the iridescent blue black, and then I mixed that with the Valspar Varathane pouring medium mix, and then I added in a couple squirts of the Golden Fluid Permanent Violet Dark. And I literally have, this has been around a while, so it is a bit thicker, which is fine, but I like to use up everything I have if I'm able to, so that is what that one is. And then we added, in the last video, we added this Bordeaux red, the Arteza Bordeaux red, which is just really pretty red here. Yeah, these are all mixed with my Valspar Varathane pouring medium mix. But anyway, here's the consistency of the red. Those are the colors we're going to use. The cell activators are what I like to use with this combination. My favorite gold, which is mixed with Australian Floetrol at 4:1, 4 parts Australian Floetrol, 1 part paint. The 1 part paint, this gold, as you know if you've been watching my videos, I use 2 different golds, about a half a part each. You can eyeball it, doesn't need to be perfect, but I like to use the Atelier Interactive Pale Gold and then the PBO Studio Acrylics Precious Gold. It's just personal preference. You can use either one if you don't want to mix anything. It's just my personal preference. And then I've got my Mars Black. This is Atelier Interactive Mars Black mixed with Australian Floetrol, again at 4:1, 4 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint. And the pillow today got my PPG Multi Pro, and it's actually gotten a little bit thinner on me just because, I mean, it is so warm. Like I said, I mean, your paints are gonna, depending on the environment you're in, I mean, this is very real. You know, if you're in a really warm environment, your paints are gonna be thin, and you know, because this is usually a lot thicker, but because it's so warm in here, it's thinner today. It'll, you know, if it gets cooler, it'll thicken up. That's just the way it goes, so I just roll with it. But anyway, again, this is the PPG Multi Pro we're gonna use as the pillow. And now let's go paint, and I'll explain a little bit more about my vision here and what I want to do. All right, for this piece, again, I've got a 12 by 12 canvas. I've got it taped up in the back, same as the last video we did, and I'll link it here. We did just a floating bloom, but I did a black pillow, and you know, it turned out quite different. So I wanted to do one with my normal white pillow, and then we're going to compare the two at the end of the video so you can kind of see how the colors interact differently with, you know, different pillow colors. I mean, I'm just doing black and white, but it's kind of the same if you use a different, you know, any other color pillow besides white. It just kind of, you know, the colors saturate a little bit differently into the pillow and display and just all that stuff. So I wanted to give just a little bit of a visual because I get asked a lot why I use mostly a white pillow, and I really like the brightness that it gives the colors. Every once in a while, you know, I'll do a different color pillow, but more often than not, you know, I typically like to stick with the white pillow myself just because the colors stay brighter for me anyways. But at any rate, that's what we're going to do today, and I want to have fun with this piece. So I'm going to get this flooded with the pillow, and I'll be right back. All right, got you at a different angle. It's easier to kind of see me put these down. So I'm going to put the nickel azo gold down again in the center, and don't want too big of a color pile because I do want negative space. All right. Next color I'm going to put down is the iridescent blue green. You can tell my paints are thinner, they're just flowing right off of this. That's what happens when it gets really hot in here. All right, I'm going to put down the purple next. More. That's good. Just about out of that color. And then finally the red. That should be good. I am going to put down the gold cell activator first. Whoops. Just kind of plopped that in the wrong place, but whatever. Like that. Wanted to go to the side. And then I'm going to put the black cell activator on top of that. Everything is thinner today. All right, now let's give this blowout. Get my straw. I'm gonna let that fill in, and then we're gonna play with it. All right, that is filling in really nicely. And I love adding the red to this combination. I'm so excited to see how this spread. There it is, kind of a little bit without the glare. So I'm gonna play around with this a little bit. Get some fun stuff to come out of it. All right, I'm digging that. I'm digging that a lot. All right, I want to see this. The colors in here are just amazing. I can't wait for you to see it. I can't wait to see this open up. So I'm going to meet you over at the spinner box, and we are going to spin this thing out and see how she opens up. Bring this up so you can kind of see. Oof, it's just the gorgeousness of this bloom. I almost don't want to spin it, but I have to because we have to get paint off. But I've got it as centered as I can be, and I have a feeling these are gonna come out a bit more, but that's okay. I'm gonna spin slowly and then just guide it as we go. Ooh, I was wrong. Well, actually, it's kind of coming out pretty even, except for this corner here, right here. Kind of gonna go like that, just to get that corner to come out a little bit more. Yeah, ooh, this is gorgeous. I really like that red in there. It takes away from the purple a little bit. It kind of sets the purple in a little bit deeper. Gives it almost like this magenta quality. All right, some of my little tendrils are gonna go off, but that's okay. This is opening up so nicely. I just want to try and keep it, the bloom itself, as even as possible. Don't have too much paint moving on here, so I could stop at any time. I'm just being a little bit picky. And I'm trying to get this out here just ever so slightly. Without ruining everything else. Actually, that looks really cool just like that on the diagonal. Normally we have it in one of the, whoa, I don't want that to go off. Let's kind of move that over just a little. All right. I think we are just about there. Let me move this down just a little bit. I'll try to anyways. Yeah, I really like it on the diagonal like this. I'm gonna leave it be. I like this orientation, and I kind of like it on the diagonal like that. So super cool. This opened up really nicely. This is a winner chicken dinner. All right, I'm gonna get cleaned up and I will bring you over the flyover of this guy. All right, here it is as a whole before I bring you in. I love it on the diagonal, just like this is so cool. And then this one's kind of my second favorite, but there isn't really a bad orientation. We'll go over that when it dries, but let me bring you down. There's some really nice shimmers in here from that gold, and then that blue black, which kind of made a green in there, and then the purple with that blue black. I mean, oh, these cells, they just get me every time with their rainbowness and their otherworldliness. And I love how the tendrils just go off. And I was trying so hard to keep all the petals on, and I managed to keep most of them. The one down here kind of went off just a little, but I'm not mad about it. I love that cluster right there. And this cell right here, I don't know how many layers it has, but so cool. All right. I am so excited to see how this dries. And you see how the colors just pop on a white background as opposed to a black background or a darker background. I mean, that's the same with any paint, but this right here is why I like using a white pillow. So I am so excited to see this dried. So I'll be back once it's dried to show you the dried results along with the black one we did last time. Here she is all dried, and she just dried like a dream. I want to check this one out first and see all the shimmers and goodies and all the orientations, and then we will compare it to the one we did with the black pillow in the last video. So let me kind of bring you in, and I'm going to kind of show it at a little bit of an angle because there's some really nice shimmers in here, and you'll see it better under the light, but just these cells are just phenomenal. But you can see how all the colors just stand out against the white background. I mean, just beautifully. Ugh, look at those rainbows. So beautiful. All right, let's go check out the shimmers. Ooh, yeah. If you can kind of get in the middle there, you can see the iridescent, the blue-green, and then you've also got the blue-black and that purple, and it kind of shows through there too, but also that gold cell activator. I memean, just gorgeous. This piece dried absolutely amazing. And I love the addition of the red. It just adds another element to it. So let's go check out the orientations. Don't normally put it on the diagonal, but I absolutely love this piece, this orientation on the diagonal. And then what you just saw before is probably my second favorite. So let's just check out a few more. That's really nice too. I like that. And finally this way. Yeah, you know what? Not a bad orientation for this piece, but I definitely love the diagonal. Let me know what your favorite orientation for this piece is. Let's check out the comparison between the white and black backgrounds now. One's hanging a little bit higher, but I mean, you can totally see it's the exact same color palette, and we laid down the colors the exact same way, but you know, the difference is just, you know, remarkable. The black completely saturates the colors a bit. I mean, and it's so beautiful in its own right. It's really nice and light in here, so you can pick up on all those colors. So, I mean, and then we just saw this one here. So different, you know, both equally beautiful. I'm more partial to having a white background just because the colors pop, but look at how those colors pop on the black too, especially in the middle. I want to know what your favorite is. Do you like the black pillow or the white pillow better? I would love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. So I'm going to flip you around and give you my final thoughts. There they are together too, another way. But I mean, you can just see a lot of it is just kind of sucked in with the black, and you can see the whole bloom with the white. This was so much fun to do. I'm so glad, you know, you suggested doing a black pillow with this color palette, my favorite color palette ever. But I love with the red now too. Let me know what you think. You know, my original favorite color palette, or do you like it with the addition of the red as well? So let me know what you thought in the comments below of this, the one we did in today's video, and which one is your favorite. I would love to know. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.